Question number 41 on the writing and language portion of College Board's Test 5. Which choice most effectively sets up the examples in the following sentence? So the examples in the following sentence, we have to read them to know what this sentence will set up. Nonprofit enterprises such as the organization Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project have begun to fill the void created by staff losses. Enterprising freelance reporters, newly funded by nonprofits, make extensive use of social media, including blogs and Twitter, to foster public conversation about key issues. The Help Me Investigate project, for example, solicited readers to submit tips and information related to ongoing stories, far from marking the end of investigative journalism. So this is talking about how, remember, what's the title of this piece? In evolving. Investigative journalism is evolving. So these are things that are, the means of investigative reportings and investigative reporters is changing. It's evolving. And this is what we're talking about. So these are the examples. Sets up the examples in the following sentence. We have to answer the question. They have to do with the fact that things are changing. New organizations and projects are taking the place of some of these staff cuts in investigative reporting units at print publications. So let's read A. Although many newsrooms have reduced their staff, some still employ investigative reporters. Okay, the examples that in the following sentence have nothing to do with traditional print publications, especially not newspapers. So no, not A. What about B? Does this set up the examples? Investigative journalism also declined between the 30s and 50s, only be revived in the 1960s. Whether or not that's true or not, that doesn't set up the examples that follow, which talk about the way in which the investigative reporting movement or field has changed. And currently, like, what are the examples? The Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, Help Me Investigate Project, all these different things have nothing to do with whether or not this is going to bounce back, or whether or not print media is going to bounce back, or whether or not investigative journalism is going to bounce back. We don't care about that. We just need to set up the examples that follow, and that doesn't do it. What about C? According to the Pew Research Center, more people get their national and international news from the internet than from newspapers. Even if that's true, that doesn't set up the examples that follow. We're not talking about the ways in which people get news. We're talking about the organizations and projects that have picked up the slack as a result of losses in investigative reporters at newspapers and other print publications. Let's hope it's D. Indeed, recent years have witnessed innovative adjustments. Nice. Innovative adjustments to changing time, otherwise known as evolution. We are evolving. And how are we evolving? Because of all these different projects and organizations and enterprising bloggers and journalists are able to figure out and carve out a place in this investigative journalist world. So the answer number 41 is going to be D. It's the only one that remotely talks about the examples that follow. The fact that the landscape of investigative journalism is changing.